Hello, and welcome back. If you're listening right now, maybe you're sitting somewhere quiet, or maybe you're walking, or cooking, or just resting after a long day. Take a moment. You don't need to rush. This is not fast English. This is calm English. I'm really glad you're here today. Before we talk about learning English, I want to ask something very simple. How does your day feel right now? Not, how is your English? Not, are you productive? Just, how does today feel? Some days feel heavy. Some days feel empty. Some days feel okay, but a little tired. And all of that is normal. Learning English does not happen in a perfect life. It happens inside real life, with work, with family, with stress, with noise. That's why today we want to talk about productivity, but in a gentle way. Not pressure productivity, not wake up at 5 a.m. productivity, but realistic productivity for English learners in 2026.
Yeah, I like that you said real life. Because when people hear be productive, they often feel nervous. They think of schedules, rules, big plans, and then they feel tired before they even start. I remember when I first tried to learn English seriously, I made a very big plan. Monday, grammar. Tuesday, vocabulary. Wednesday, speaking. Thursday, listening. Friday, revision. It looked beautiful on paper. But after 3 days, I stopped. Not because I was lazy, but because the plan didn't match my life.
That happens to so many learners. We don't fail English. English plans fail us. In 2026, learning English is everywhere. You hear English on YouTube, on social media, in games, in music, in work tools. English is not far away anymore. But strangely, many people still feel stuck. They listen a lot, but don't feel confident. They study for years, but still feel shy. They know many words, but don't speak. That's where productivity comes in. Not doing more, but doing what fits.
Exactly. Productivity for A1, A2 learners is not about speed. It's about continuity. Can you stay with English, even on bad days?
Let me share something personal. There was a time when English felt heavy to me. Every time I opened a book, I felt pressure. Every mistake felt big. Every pause felt embarrassing. So I avoided English. But one day, I changed one small thing. I stopped studying and started living with English. I listened while washing dishes. I listened while walking. I listened without subtitles sometimes. Not to understand everything, just to hear the rhythm. And slowly, something changed. English stopped feeling like work. It started feeling familiar.
That's such an important point. Many learners think productivity means sitting at a desk, but language lives in the ears first.
So if you're an A1 or A2 learner in 2026, here's a calm truth. You don't need 5 hours a day. You don't need perfect focus. You don't need expensive courses. You need small, repeatable habits. For example, listening to one calm podcast episode every day. Not fast, not difficult, just familiar voices. Like this one.
And you don't need to answer questions. You don't need to pause every minute. Sometimes just listening is enough. Your brain is working quietly in the background.
In 2026, productivity also means being kind to yourself. If you miss one day, it's okay. If you don't understand, it's okay. If you feel slow, it's okay. Language learning is not a race. Some days you walk fast. Some days you walk slow. But you are still moving. And movement is success. Even 10 minutes counts. So if you're listening right now and thinking, I want to be better at English, I want to feel more confident, I want to learn, but not feel stressed, you're in the right place. This podcast is not here to push you. It's here to walk with you. Slowly, calmly, one conversation at a time.
And we'll keep learning together.
You know, when people hear the word productive, they often imagine someone very busy, someone with a planner, someone waking up early, someone doing many things at the same time. But when it comes to learning English, being busy and being productive are not the same. I learned this slowly and honestly, the hard way. There was a time when I studied English every day. I watched videos, I opened grammar books, I saved vocabulary lists. But inside, I felt tired and confused and sometimes disappointed because even though I was doing English, I didn't feel closer to speaking it. That's when I realized something important. Productivity is not about how much English you touch. It's about how connected you feel to it.
Yeah, that feeling of connection matters a lot. I think many A1, A2 learners feel guilty. They say, I didn't study today, or I didn't finish my lesson. But they forget to ask a softer question. Did I spend any time with English today? Maybe they listened to a song. Maybe they read one short comment. Maybe they heard English while scrolling. That still counts.
Exactly. In 2026, English is not only in classrooms, it's in everyday life. So productivity now means using what already exists. Instead of adding more pressure, we gently add English into things we already do. For example, if you drink tea or coffee in the morning, you can listen to a calm English podcast. No notes, no stopping, just listening. That's productive. If you use social media, you can follow one English page, not 10, just one. That's productive.
I really like that idea of just one. One podcast, one page, one voice you recognize. Because when learners follow too many things, the brain never relaxes, and language needs relaxation to grow.
Yes, language grows in calm moments. Think about how children learn language. They don't study grammar first. They listen, they repeat, they feel safe. Adults forget that part. We think learning must feel hard to be real. But for beginners, easy and familiar is actually better. This is especially true for A1, A2 learners. At this stage, your brain is still building the base. So productivity means hearing simple English again and again, seeing common words many times, feeling comfortable with the sound.
And this is where many people get stuck. They think, I should understand everything. But understanding everything is not the goal. Understanding something regularly, that's the goal.
Let's say you listen to a 20-minute podcast. Maybe you understand 30%. That's okay. Tomorrow, you understand 32%. Next week, maybe 40%. That is progress. Slow, quiet, real. Another part of productivity in 2026 is letting go of comparison. This is hard because online we see people speaking fluently. We hear accents, we see confidence, and then we look at ourselves and feel behind.
Yeah, comparison can really steal motivation. But we forget something important. We are not seeing their beginning. We are seeing their middle.
Exactly. Everyone who speaks English well was once confused, silent, slow. They just stayed longer. Productivity is staying. So instead of asking, how fast am I learning? Try asking, can I stay with English this month? Not forever, just this month. That question feels lighter. It doesn't scare the brain. And when the brain feels safe, it learns better. Another gentle truth. Some days you will feel motivated. Some days you won't. Productivity does not mean feeling motivated every day. It means having a default habit, something small you do even on low energy days. For example, on good days, you listen and repeat. On tired days, you just listen. Both days count.
That's such an important mindset shift because many learners stop completely when they miss one day. They think, I failed. But really, they just paused.
And pauses are part of learning. What matters is returning softly, without punishment. So if we look at productivity in English learning for 2026, especially for A1, A2 learners, it looks like this: less pressure, more listening, fewer tools, more repetition, kinder self-talk.
And more patience, because language is not built in weeks, it's built in seasons.
Yes, seasons. Some seasons are fast, some are quiet, but all of them matter. If you're listening now and thinking, okay, this feels possible, that feeling is important. That means you're not fighting English anymore. You're letting it sit beside you.
And that's where real productivity begins.
In the next phase, we'll talk about simple daily structures, not strict schedules, but gentle routines that actually work. Nothing heavy, nothing perfect, just human. By this point, maybe something has already changed inside you. Not in your English level, but in how English feels. It feels less heavy, less like a task, more like something you can sit with. That feeling matters, because now we can talk about habits, not strict schedules, not rules written in stone, but soft routines that fit into real life. When people hear daily English habit, they often imagine 1 hour every day. But for most people, that doesn't last. Life gets busy, energy goes down, motivation disappears. So instead of asking, how much English should I study? A better question is, what is the smallest English habit I can keep, even on bad days?
That question changes everything, because the goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to stay connected, and connection doesn't need long hours. Sometimes 5 minutes is enough.
Let's imagine a very normal day. You wake up, you check your phone, maybe you feel a little tired. This is not the moment for grammar rules. This is the moment for exposure. Exposure means hearing English. Maybe you play a short podcast, maybe a slow video, maybe just one familiar voice. You don't analyze, you don't repeat yet. You just let the sound enter your day. That's it. That's already productive.
I like to think of it as opening a window. You're not going outside. You're just letting some fresh air in.
Exactly. And later in the day, maybe during lunch or a break, you meet English again. This time in a slightly different way. Maybe you look at 3 new words. Not 30, just 3. Words you heard earlier, words that feel familiar. You write them in a notebook or in your phone. No long meanings, just simple examples. For example, calm. I feel calm when I listen to music. Slow. I speak English slowly. Habit. Listening is my English habit. That's enough.
This part is important because many learners collect words but never use them. Even one small sentence makes the word alive.
Yes. And then in the evening, when your mind is tired, you don't study. You revisit. You listen again to something familiar. Not new, not difficult, something you've already heard. This builds comfort, and comfort builds confidence. It's like meeting the same friend again. You don't need to understand everything they say. Their voice itself feels safe. That's such a good way to say it. Language learning is about relationship, and relationships grow with time, not force. Now, let's talk honestly about consistency. Many people think consistency means never miss a day, but that's not realistic. Life happens. So instead, we think in ranges, not rules. For example, I listen to English 4 to 6 days a week. Not 7, not perfect, just honest. And when you miss a day, nothing bad happens. You don't lose everything. You just continue. Exactly. Missing one day doesn't break the habit. Stopping completely does. So we focus on returning, gently. Another habit that works very well for A1, A2 learners is shadow listening. This sounds technical, but it's actually simple. You listen to a short sentence, and you repeat it quietly. Not perfectly, not loudly, just enough to feel the rhythm.
You're not performing. You're practicing. Big difference.
And you don't need to do this for long. Even 2 minutes is okay. 2 minutes every day is powerful. Now, let's talk about one thing that stops many learners. Fear. Fear of speaking wrong, fear of sounding stupid, fear of accent. Productivity in 2026 also means redefining success. Success is not sounding perfect. Success is opening your mouth.
Yes, if you speak and make mistakes, you are learning. If you stay silent, English stays silent too.
So a gentle habit could be this: 1 sentence out loud every day. Just one. Maybe to yourself, maybe to a friend,
maybe to your phone. For example, today I listened to English. I feel tired, but I'm learning. This podcast is calm. That's enough.
Those small sentences build courage, and courage builds fluency.
So when we look at productivity now, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing a few things well. Listening, repeating a little, seeing familiar words, returning after breaks. These habits don't look impressive on social media, but they work, quietly.
And that's the kind of progress that lasts.
In the final phase, we'll talk about mindset, how to stay patient, how to deal with slow days, and how to trust your process in 2026.
You know, when we started talking today, it felt like a normal day. Just two people talking. No plan, no stress. And now, after all this time, I feel calmer about learning English.
Yeah, me too. It doesn't feel like a lesson, right? It feels more like we were just sitting together and sharing ideas.
Exactly. And I think that is the biggest lesson for learning English in 2026. You don't need pressure. You don't need to feel late. You don't need to feel scared.
True. Many learners think productivity means doing a lot, but real productivity is doing a little every day without fear.
I remember before, I used to say, tomorrow I will study for 2 hours, and tomorrow never came.
Same here. And when I missed one day, I felt bad. Then I stopped completely.
But now the idea is different. In 2026, productivity means fitting English into your life, not changing your life for English.
Yes, like listening while cooking, or repeating a sentence while walking, or thinking in English for 1 minute before sleeping.
And it's okay if one day you feel tired. You are human. Learning English should support your life, not fight with it.
I really like that idea. Learning without pressure, especially for A1 and A2 learners.
Because at this level, confidence is more important than speed.
Absolutely. If you feel safe, you will speak more. If you speak more, you will improve naturally.
So instead of asking, how fast can I learn English? We ask, how comfortably can I learn English?
That one small change, it changes everything.
And one more thing. Productivity is also about accepting mistakes.
Oh yes, mistakes are part of the process.
In 2026, mistakes are not embarrassing. They are proof that you are trying.
When you say a wrong sentence, your brain is learning. When you stay silent, it is not.
So speak slowly, speak simply, speak with mistakes.
English is not about sounding perfect. It's about being understood.
And listening. Listening is your best friend.
Yes, just like this podcast. You don't need to understand every word.
Understanding the feeling is enough at first.
Over time, the words will come. Your brain is smarter than you think.
So let's say this clearly to everyone listening right now.
You don't need to rush.
You don't need to compare.
You don't need to be perfect.
Just be consistent.
Just be kind to yourself.
And just keep English around you, a little every day.
That is real productivity in learning English in 2026.
If you are listening to this podcast, you are already doing something right.
Yes, you showed up. That matters.
And we hope this conversation felt natural, like friends talking, like learning without stress.
Because that's how English should feel.
Calm, friendly, possible.
So take a deep breath, smile a little.
Your English journey is not late.
It's just beginning in a better way.